Well, here we are at the Royal Gorge RV Resort. This is our little shakedown cruise, so to speak, for the beginning of our 2023 camping season.
Yeah, it's April and we're in Colorado, so it's not even spring yet. None of the trees, none of the deciduous trees are putting leaves on yet. So we're out here, kind of cool. It's supposed to get about 2 inches of snow tonight. So we're gonna do a little winter camping, I guess.
Right, we're just enjoying the reasonably decent weather right now. It was very windy earlier. We had gorgeous weather during the work week, but now that it's the weekend, it's decided to get cold.
Why do we even want to do a shakedown cruise?
Well, it allows us to find problems that we don't want to find when we get started on a long 6 to 8 week trip. On this one, we did find that there was something that needed repair.
There's a bracket on the sewer hose coming out of the RV, so it's not supported, which doesn't seem to be a problem right now, but if we drove for weeks down the highway, it's gonna fatigue that. We might have a problem, so we'll get that fixed before we go on our trip. Every year, last year we had a leak because we're just pulled it out of winter storage, so there's always chance
some
something
little
else
minor
that can
issue,
happen.
hopefully minor.
We want to make sure everything's
address.
working. Last year the furnace didn't work. We had the leak. I can't remember what else. There's always a little something.
Yeah, several things.
So we come out and just try it out. So far, this is a better year. It seems like everything seems to be working. Now, we haven't tried any of the outside spray ports, but I don't think there's a problem with them because we winterized and they're not leaking.
Right.
So I guess they're okay. We'll hook the quick connect spray hose to them just to check to make sure they're actually working. Hot water heater seems to be working. At least we've only tried it on electric. We'll have to flip it over to gas to make sure it's working. The refrigerator's working. Stoves are working. We haven't tried the oven yet.
Right.
There doesn't seem to be any leaks.
The heat is working.
Yes, our heat is working. We've tried that. We need it here. We did bring a space heater. We also like that this gives us a chance to de-winterize. We'll have to re-winterize though before we put it back into storage for another month before we head on our big summer trip. But it gives us a chance to also inspect, to just check things out. It gives us a chance to learn how to RV again.
Get back in those routines that we didn't even have to think once we really got going on our trip last year. It just became like automatic. All the procedures,
all the hookup and setup, and we would both know our parts, and we were just like, it's almost like it was choreographed. And now we're I don't know.
We have to just reacquaint ourselves with those procedures again. It won't take very long. Probably after the first stay or two, we will have it down again. We
don't have a big place to keep our RV or our house. As a matter of fact, we have to put it on the street, and the HOA won't let us keep it there more than 24 hours. We've kind of stretched that rule a bit, but yeah, we're on the clock, so we can't do any major repairs. And also, it's kind of like we almost could take it to a campground. We're about an hour and a half, 2 hours from home here.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
And but we're able to be in it and get stuff done. But a beautiful day right now.
Less windy than it was.
We're right behind the camera. We're staring at the camera, and right behind it is the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, just covered in snow. It's a beautiful view.
Beautiful views, beautiful campground. You will have to watch our review of this campground.
Well, I think that's it for now.
Cheers.
All right, I wanted to interrupt us before we go ahead and show you some of the things we did for winterizing. Just make a suggestion that do a shakedown cruise like we did, and do it at least a month in advance so you'll have time to do the repairs either yourself or take it into a shop. On that note, if you are planning on taking it into the shop, I recommend you make that appointment probably 6 months in advance. I had a lot of my work done at the shop, and I did make the appointment in November for May. They'll frequently be booked up, I just made it an open appointment. I was going to go ahead and have my bearings repacked and my brakes checked anyhow. And so I was able to have a couple minor other things done as well. We learned the hard way. The first year we had the camper, we did not make any appointment and we did a shakedown cruise. We thought we were smart, but we found some problems, leaks and other things, and we struggled to get in the shop. I pretty much had to beg them to come in and just do the major repairs so we could get on the road. All right, so this video is mostly about just taking the camper out of storage and de-winterizing it. So the first thing you're going to really want to do is just get the antifreeze out of your lines, and that's pretty simple. Just hook up water and turn on all the faucets, and don't forget your outside spigots as well. What you'll do is you'll pretty much just run the water until you see no pink stuff coming out of it, and then you know you're pretty much done. Once you have the antifreeze all flushed out of your system, the next thing you want to do is prepare your hot water heater. For ours, we just put a drain plug back on. We leave the plug off during the winter, and then you have to turn the valves to put it back into normal mode or non-winterized mode. Now, when you run the water, you're going to want to try it both through the city water hookup and through your tank with the pump. So try both of those so you'll know everything is working properly.
Now, once you've pressurized the water system, it's a good idea to take a look around to see if you see any leaks. Check under all the sinks.
Another thing I would suggest you do is I would just walk around the trailer and take a look at things. Look at your tires, make sure there isn't any unusual wear on them. Look at the shackles and leaf springs and see if it looks like anything's about to break. Just do a walk around and see if everything looks in order. Now, this is how I discovered that there's a strap that is connected to the pipe coming out of the waste tanks, both the gray and black tank, and it was just broken in two, and so that pipe was just hanging there, and it would only be a matter of time before that pipe would probably break loose from the tanks, and we'd have a real problem on our hands. So we discovered that. Now, this is also a good time to take a walk around on the roof, get up there and look at everything, see that everything looks like it's in order. Can't tell from the ground. One of the things you want to do is check the seams to make sure the sealant is in good shape, that it hasn't become brittle and cracked. So I highly recommend you take care of that as well.
Our roof has a 10-year warranty on it, and the warranty will be void if we do not do annual inspections and repairs. Obviously, if you take it into a shop for repairs, you'll have evidence that you've done this. If you do it on your own, you probably want to do something like record yourself doing it with a timestamp.
As I mentioned earlier in the video, we have a hard time storing our camper at our house for long periods of time due to our HOA. So when I did bring mine to the shop, I just had everything done there. It wasn't terribly expensive because all I had to do was some spot seals on our sealant. Other things I had done that I'm not comfortable doing, especially with the limited time I can leave it out front and it's just sitting on the street, that is to pull the bearings and repack them, and also the brakes checked. So I had that done at the shop as well. I highly recommend you do that every year. We definitely do it because we do extended trips. So our bearings get a lot of miles. Of course, our battery is the stock battery that came with the RV, and it was stored in the little box up on the tongue of the trailer. And the strap down and the buckle on that strap is plastic, which quickly broke, and I replaced it with a new strap that had a metal bracket on it. It seems to, I'm hoping, will hold up better. I can't say it seems to yet because I've just used it on one trip.
Another thing you really want to check on after your camper's been through a long winter's nap is the battery. During the winter, we keep our battery in our garage hooked up to a trickle charger. After pulling our battery out of storage, we check to make sure it's still holding a good charge, and we clean the terminals thoroughly.
Well, that is it for now. We just wanted to kind of share how we de-winterize. We're no experts. There was a suggestion my winterizing video that we should do a de-winterizing one, and I thought that was a great idea. So we just share what we do and how we get ready for another RV season, and it seems to have worked out pretty well for us. Well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Two Traveling Teachers. We got a big summer planned, and I think you'll enjoy it.